Lloris is in this funny position of he's been rejecting offer after offer from clubs. I wonder whether Hugo Lloris has kind of thought this summer, okay, I'm either, a few scenarios. Either a club's going to come in for me, I'm going to have a great big move somewhere. Fantastic. Or Spurs will pay me off. I'll get the end of my contract and then I'll head off somewhere on a free transfer. But as it is, every club that's come in for Lloris thus far, and I know he rejected, I think, a couple of offers from Saudi leagues as well, but everything that's been offered to him pretty much has been as a backup goalkeeper. That's got to be a bit soul-crushing, I suppose. At this stage, he probably thought he was going to go somewhere. He wasn't going to quite be the old backup keeper yet. Even Nice tried to sign him late in the window. And actually, there's some Lloris quotes. He spoke to Nice Matin. So his quotes, he said, "I want to clear up the ambiguity surrounding the events of the past hours. Yesterday, an hour before the end of the window, I received a call from an agent who evoked the possibility of joining Nice. Playing prospects and a sporting project, the real motives behind a player's decision, much more so than financial conditions, weren't clearly broached. My professional journey has shown that exchange, sharing and collective growth have always forged my decisions, even more so when it's about coming back to the club that trained me. The supporters and the team deserve better than a split-second decision based on a phone call without expectations or a clear sporting project with 1 hour until the closure of the window at a time where I wasn't expecting it. To be honest, I couldn't sign without this common shared vision, at least with the president and the coach. Nice is and will remain a different club for me. It is my city, my club, my blood. A goalkeeper is in place today." I think it's Bolka, is it? The Nice keeper? Because I know Kasper Schmeichel left. "He is without a doubt one of the best at the start of the season. He has a promising career ahead of him. Joining a club to play, to build, to perform, yes. Signing without a sporting vision and a direct positive impact on the team, no." So essentially, kind of seems like he wasn't going to be the first choice keeper there. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Lloris. Postecoglou has pretty much made it clear that he's told Lloris he's not going to be in his squad. He's kind of strongly suggesting that in his answers that he's said to us. So I don't know what will happen with Lloris. I do wonder whether he's waiting to be paid off by Spurs, but that's a lot of money. That's, you think he is one of the bigger earners at the club and you've still got almost a year's worth of contract left. That's a lot of money. This is why when people say, just pay the players off and just get rid of them. Someone was saying that for Tongi the other day. And it's 2 years of Tongi's contract. That would probably mean paying them off, I don't know, off the top of my head, I don't know, 18 million, something crazy like that. You don't just throw away to 18 million. If you have to, just get him out on loan. Get him out on loan somewhere or take a cut price offer for him. You don't pay 18 million. I think this seems to be the case with Lloris as well, because you've still got the Saudi window open for another few weeks. You've got the Turkish window open. I think there's maybe another 1 or 2 as well. So while there's any chance of someone coming in, because Spurs, I don't think will, from what I understand, will not ask for a fee for Lloris. They will, let him head off to where he wants to be. But I guess from Lloris' perspective, he's probably thinking, but if I just join another club where I'm going to probably earn less than I was at Spurs, well, what about the last year of my contract kind of thing? So there would have to be some kind of signing on fee, I guess, from the club that are trying to sign him. But obviously that would not be Spurs' responsibility. So yeah, Spurs would surely wait until the last possible moment before they have to make a decision on whether they pay him off at all or not. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if nothing happens to Lloris, which is surprising, let's be honest, at the end of the day, Spurs and him would have to come to some kind of mutual agreement, because unless he were to leave in January, that's the only thing. But to have a player like that on, there's talk about maybe, 200 grand a week, whatever his wages are, sitting there being paid to do nothing, it just serves no purpose. So you probably would have to come to a mutual agreement there eventually. But there's a little bit of time left on that one. Let's see what happens. I just don't know. Don't know whether he would change his mind on Saudi League, or whether he would go on loan somewhere for a few, even for 6 months. I don't know. And Eric Dyer. God, Eric Dyer couldn't even get on the bench yesterday. Ashley Phillips, 18-year-old Ashley Phillips. I saw him come in. He's a big lad. He is a big lad. You know, he's 18 years old. Has never played. He's only played 8 championship games, I think, in his life, and he's on that bench ahead of an England international. And if that doesn't say everything, I guess, to Eric Dyer about exactly where his place is in the pecking order. Now we have to see exactly who he leaves out. That's the next question, because as the squad numbers are, he has 2 foreign players he's going to have to leave out. He's got 19 non-locally trained players. He can only have 17. As I said, Hugo Lloris appears to be one. For people that are wondering, you've got to register your squad on 13th of September. I think it's a Wednesday, second week of the international break. The reason for it being not the day after transfer window closes, I think, is to do with the international break. And just in case there were any serious injuries on the international break, that gives clubs a little bit of time to kind of adapt to that. And obviously also we'll probably take into account the fact that the Turkish and the Saudi windows, among others, are still open. So Lloris not being one, then that leaves, I'd imagine, at this moment in time, if no one else leaves, maybe Tongi is the other one, which would maybe suggest he would have to go to somewhere like Turkey to get some game time, even if it's for 6 months until or not even 6 months, is it? 4 months until the window opens again in January. Obviously, if Davinson Sanchez were to go, or Eric Dyer were to go somewhere at late notice, that would free up the space and Tongi would be able to be registered. If it was down between Dyer and Tongi for me, you know how much I love Tongi's ability. But what I would say is Dyer probably provides you with more versatility in your squad, in that technically you could play him as a number 6. He's not an ideal Postecoglou 6 by any stretch of the imagination, but his versatility, I guess, means he can play in a few positions, maybe even at right back if required. If he were to stay, we don't know exactly what's going to happen there. Still, it's a bit of an unknown with these windows still being open. So yeah, looking back on the window, Spurs lost their star player. Didn't quite do enough in the window for me, but they did make a start on things. And I think it's difficult to disagree that right now the rebuild has created a stronger team as a unit. I think that's the case so far. It will be tested by, the lack of depth, I feel.